Day 15 of the government shutdown, and lawmakers no closer to a compromise once again. Failing to pass a continuing resolution in the Senate, Democrats and Republicans remain at impasse regarding health insurance tax credits. Republicans calling Democrats unreasonable, while Democrats say no progress can be made until President Trump and Republicans meet them at the negotiating table to extend Obamacare subsidies for low-income Americans. While the White House is using unspent funds to pay active duty troops, there are hundreds of thousands of federal workers across our country going without pay tonight. Good evening, I'm Dana Wagner.
And I'm Marie Mortera. Amid mass layoffs, some are telling us they're considering just walking off the job. We have team coverage on the impacts being felt here in our valley, starting with Will Silverstein, who has been reaching out to our elected officials. Will, what are they saying as the shutdown is forcing federal workers to miss their payday?
Well, Marie, Nevada Democrat Susie Lee is telling us that she says the ball is in the court of Republicans in the House and in the Senate. Hearing very similar messaging from Catherine Cortez Masto as well, Democratic senator that we both grabbed interviews with. And this is a blame game that goes the other way too. Republican political strategists telling me that the ball is in the other person's court. So whose court is it in? That's what we're trying to figure out. This is the first federal payday is being missed, and a near record is being hit with the length of this shutdown.
Trump has a chance to pass the record, which he set.
Is a record-setting government shutdown in the offing? UNLV history professor Michael Green thinks so as this shutdown heads into its third week. It's now just 2 weeks shy of the 2018-2019 government shutdown presided over by President Donald Trump. But this day, in the most recent multi-day shutdown, marks the first that several federal employees are going without a paycheck.
We're at about 15 and counting, and both sides seem pretty dug in.
This isn't a Democrat or a Republican issue, it's an American issue.
Nevada Democratic Congresswoman Susie Lee says it's time for Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson to come to the table and negotiate.
I think that it is really a misuse of his power to not come to the table and try to negotiate with Democrats.
But federal workers find themselves in the middle of a fight between Democrats and Republicans who are debating extending tax credits that lower the cost of health care but cost the government more money. Republicans say federal workers can be back at their jobs, and Democrats should plan on debating health care outside of the negotiations of ending the shutdown. But Democrats say the issues cannot be uncoupled to the ire of Republicans like political strategist Tim Rosales, who has run Republican candidates in Nevada.
Of course they have another choice. It's called elections, right? And they have their choice and the ability to make their case to the American people. And we've got elections coming up here in 2026. The fact that they're using this as a pawn to hold up the government right now is something that, just a few years ago, they were very, very critical on, and now they're kind of taking that tactics.
But one Democrat from the Silver State not taking that tactic is Senator Catherine Cortez Masto.
I don't think we need to engage in a shutdown to still fight for health care in this country.
On Capitol Hill Wednesday afternoon, Cortez Masto noted that she has concern for the federal jobs in travel that help keep Nevada running being eliminated by the Trump administration, which has threatened layoffs, saying it will not affect just those federal workers, but other hospitality jobs too.
Some that would actually not only lose a job and be furloughed, but never be paid for those dollars. I come from a state that relies on tourism and travel. Because of Trump's tariffs, we already see a downturn in tourism and travel across the country. By shutting down the government, it's going to be having more of a negative impact in my state.
So you've seen our great reporting from Tiffany Lane talking to TSA workers that have been impacted. We tried to reach out to some more government workers today. I was trying to reach out to some unions, and when I would send out those emails, the ones that had actual government email addresses would bounce back automatic replies that say on those replies, we're not going to be able to see this message until the end of the shutdown, just to give you an idea of how isolated some of these federal workers feel at this point in time.
And that underscores the issue, right? All right, Will, thank you for your reporting.
Can you imagine how many emails they're going to have in their inbox when they finally get back to work, too, as well? So with today marking the first payday missed for many of Nevada's nearly 14,000 civilian federal workers, here are the next paydays on the schedule. All Wednesdays, October the 29th, November 12th, November 26th, which is the day before Thanksgiving, and then 2 paydays after that, Christmas Eve on December the 24th.